So number four is quite similar to the number three, but actually there are some important differences here. Number four says membership inference attacks. So this is not like we are trying to reverse engineer the model, but instead they try to manipulate the model training data to cause it in a way that exposes sensitive information. Like let's look at one example here: inferencing or getting financial data from a machine learning model. So here, malicious attacker wants to gain access to sensitive financial information, let's say your credit card information, and they do this by training a machine learning model on a data sets of financial record, and then use it to query whether or not a particular individual record was included in that training data. The attacker then used this information to get the financial history and sensitive information of individual. Again, here explain better that this is done by training a machine learning model on a data sets of the financial information. Then they use this model to query whether or not a particular record was in the training data. So let me put it this way. If you have access to the information, to the data set, you can train a model. It's very hard to go through all this data, right? I mean, if you have millions of records. So instead, what you do, you train a model on those training data that you downloaded, and now you ask your model what type of sensitive information it has. Actually, it becomes easier because you have more control now over the system prompt. And you are free to ask the model any question that you like because you don't have any safeguard on it, as you are the one who trained the data and trained the model. So it's about unsecured data transmission channels that allow unauthorized access to the data, and attackers who have access to the data and the model, and who have malicious intent. So they want to get sensitive information from the model. So you see, again, the difference here with number three is that in number three, we were talking about reverse engineering the model. The model is already trained by an organization and you try to extract information from it. But here, you as an attacker try to train the model based on the data that you have found on the internet, and then you try to query any specific information that you like. Let's look at the ways that you can read this more. I don't want to, of course, get you bored with reading all the details here, but they're very important. Let's go back to the detection. First of all, model training should be done on randomized or shuffled data. Because this can make it difficult for an attacker to determine whether a particular example was included in the training or not. Model obfuscation, which means that here we try to hide the model's prediction by adding random noise that prevent the membership inference by making harder for attacker to determine the model's training data. Again, you try to avoid the attacker to get access to the training data. Regularization, we have the L1 and L2 regularization for those who are familiar with machine learning. That can help, of course, to prevent overfitting in the model. This can also reduce the model's ability to accurately determine whether a particular image was included or not. Because if it's easy for an attacker to ask the model any question, and if they are provided the input that the model got trained on, that's going to be a problem. And then reducing the training data, which means that they reduce the size of training data or remove the redundant or highly correlated feature. So attacker cannot gain information from membership inference attack. And next is testing and monitoring. Of course, it's very important that we monitors the model behavior regularly to see if membership inference attack is possible there. Okay, let's move on to number 5.